Voila. Why did I just appear like that? What's up, everybody? Bear with me just a second, man. YouTube was acting funny, duddy on me tonight, man. Yeah, acting real funny. So that's why I'm late, and that's why I just popped in on the screen like that as you guys saw it. Look at this. Look at my Batman shirt. I can't even get the chroma key correct where it will display the color correct. It's been having a rough go at it tonight, man. But what's happening, guys? We're here. We are going to talk about a little bit. Not a lot to talk about, really. Bear with me as I'm looking down at my phone. YouTube was tripping tonight, man. It wouldn't even allow me to pre-set up the streams. You know, most of the time I have it pre-set up, usually about an hour or so beforehand. Let me turn this light down a little bit. Got me looking bright, right? Usually it allows me to set up the stream beforehand, right? And what I typically do in that case is, you know, I put it out there so you guys are able to, you know, comment and chat it up with each other before the show starts, but it was bugging tonight. So please bear with me, guys. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just sharing my stream out to the, the normal places where I share it out to, a couple groups here on Facebook. Won't take that long. I've already sent it to my father-in-law, Leonard, as well as Floyd and my other brother-in-law, Jamar. Send it to those guys. And give me about 30 more seconds and I'll be done posting here. And we can have at it. But yeah, man, YouTube was just not cooperating with me tonight. Bugging. It was bugging. Every time I tried to, you know, manage, as they call it, manage your stream, I tried to set it up 2 hours beforehand, and it kept telling me could not complete my request. So thus far, I've had to do it here on the fly. So excuse me for that, but I'm ready to rock now. Believe I'm ready to go. Give me 2 more seconds, and we can get it crack-a-lacking. Give me about 2 more seconds, man. Just about 2 more. That's all. Just a few more. I know I asked y'all to bear with me already, man, but if y'all can do it once again, I would appreciate it. Almost there. We're almost there. All right. I think we're about ready. I just shared it out. And then if you guys can, you know, if you can help out with that as well. Boom, boom, boom. Do that right there. Subscribe, cut on your notifications, hit the like button, but share the stream out as well, man. If you know other people that may be interested in what we do over here, please feel free to do that. But since I was unable to post it beforehand, I can read right now. I can read from the chat, and I'll say hello to some of you all here early and often. Give me a second, and then we'll get it cracking. Let me adjust my volume as well, too. I think my mic is turned up a little too high. I really think it is turned up a little too high here. There we go. All right. What's up to Y Diggy, Jared Devil, Charlie Brown, Gary Steele, Slide Red, Lydell Dorsey, Rajon 39, Vista Light. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Amon Bozeman. Who else we got? Relfax in the building. Hello, Miss Destiny. How you doing this evening? Good brother Kenyon in the building, of course. Mr. Winningham in the building as well. Who else we got up in here? iSloth Plays. Big guy Joe Biden. Okay, that's an interesting name. He says, I'm a Ravens fan, and the Roethlisberger disrespect is crazy right now. Yeah, it is. It is, and I appreciate you stopping by. Why, guys, why is this light? I'm telling you, nothing. There we go. Nothing is working the way I wanted to work tonight. Got me looking super bright out here. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to get into the Roethlisberger disrespect, man, and, you know, that's going to probably be the primary topic. Somebody's here from the UK. Let me make sure I find them. Don't want to miss them. Razap 2006. He says, sup everyone from the UK. How are you doing? Thank you. I'm going to throw you a round of applause, if you don't mind. I'm going to throw you a round of applause. I believe you are more than likely a new viewer, so I appreciate that. Definitely. And, and if I'm worthy of it, if I gain your respect, your interest tonight, feel free to subscribe. And if I don't. I like real feelings. I like you to share your real thoughts. But all right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Where we want to start. Like I said, there's not a lot to talk about tonight. There's really not a lot to get into tonight. Times are getting slow out here, guys. Let's see. What do we have on the docket? A couple things that I will discuss tonight. And also, I will lean heavy on you guys, man, in the chat, as well as the phone queue is open. You can dictate, where you guys want to go with the show. Main topic of the night is Ben Roethlisberger being disrespected. And in my, comment section here, the description I put by the media and fans. I'm also going to talk about why Najee Harris is already one of my favorite players on the team. I'll also get into, will the Steelers add another edge rusher this offseason? And then the last thing I will get into, man, is do you guys have an issue with Pat Freiermuth wearing number 88? We'll talk about that. And speaking of which, if you guys bear with me for a second, man, I'm going to, I had it. Let me see if I can find it again. I had all of the rookie numbers. Let's do that. Let me pull that up really quick, man. Y'all don't mind. I'm always asking you guys if y'all mind, and I know y'all don't. I think some of you guys appreciate the on-the-fly stuff that we do because y'all know nothing is scripted here. Let's see. Where is it? Rookies. Numbers. I'm going to find it. Give me 2 shakes of a rattlesnake. I should find it. And I can't find it. Hold on, man. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves while I look for it, if y'all don't mind. Can't find it. So what I will actually do, let me go to Steelers.com. Maybe some of you guys in the chat know where it's at immediately. Give me a second, guys. Just want to be accurate. If I don't find it, it's really not a big deal, in terms of the numbers. Really the conversation is centered around Freiermuth. So, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here trying to find it. Yeah, I'm not really going to do that. So, oh, well, if one of you guys find it, man, please let me know. Put it in the chat, and I'll give you guys all of the credit. But let's go ahead and jump into it, man. The first thing I'll talk about, man, let's keep it light. Will the Steelers add another edge rusher this offseason? Very good question. We now know, shout outs to some of the news outlets and shout outs to Off the Moats. I don't know if some of you guys may or may not know. He also, does a Steelers show now with his guy Deke. They got a funny tagline, man, which is hilarious, which is centered around Deke. It's hilarious. But anyway, does a good job over there, man. I happened to catch his show, some of it live yesterday, and I was there, and some of you guys were there. Some of you guys that watch me, so clearly you guys are into all things Steelers. I definitely promote that. I recommend that. Y'all know me. I'm not the type of guy that's trying to hoard, all of the viewership on YouTube when it comes to Steelers. No. I do what I do. They do what they do. They do what they do. That's how it is. I'm always going to promote good stuff. You hear me promote Steelers Depot all the time. We were blessed last week. Alex Kazor dropped by. That's how I am. Go check them out. And y'all know what we do when we over here. We do our thing. They do their thing. But we can all coexist out here. But anyway, I was over there listening to his show, and they actually mentioned as well that the Steelers were interested in Ryan Kerrigan, but also they mentioned, the salary, and the salary was relatively low. So it makes you think, Steelers may very well add someone. And, looking at the price that Ryan Kerrigan went for, which I believe they said wasn't that much, about $3 million or so, something like that. I don't know the full details of the terms, but that raises an eyebrow. There's some guys still out there that the Steelers may go after. It makes me wonder who they would go after, because I will share, something that those guys said, Arthur Moat said, and obviously I'm always going to listen to. I really love when ex-players give their analysis on the sport that they play, and even better, a guy who was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a guy who clearly still loves the Pittsburgh Steelers and, really attached himself to our organization. If you guys remember, Arthur Moats was not drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was drafted by another team. And he's played at other teams after us, if I'm not mistaken. And look who he sticks to. I think that kind of speaks to the organization. No disrespect to any other organization. I know we got some Ravens fans in here, but I think that speaks to the level of the organization, as well as the staff, the coach, all of that. I think that says a lot to me. That means a lot to me to hear players or see players like him who have played elsewhere, but their claim to fame or who they, gravitate and hold on to is the Steelers. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. Anyway, I definitely agree with their point. Arthur Moats was basically saying if you bring a guy in like Melvin Ingram is more so the type of guy that you might be looking to start. May not want to bring a guy in like that and stunt the growth of Alex Highsmith. But he said, in his estimation, Melvin Ingram would be more of the starter type of role if you were looking to sign him. Whereas he also mentioned if you bring in like a Justin Houston, a Justin Houston would be great to play that. And I say this respectably. I don't know what the situation really was with Debo, and James Harrison and Tomlin and the organization, but we definitely didn't utilize him as much as I thought we would have that last season. But I was going to say the Debo role, but more. You would be able to use Justin Houston as a guy that can spell fresh legs. We're not looking to use him as a starter, but definitely somebody who would be able to contribute on second, third down easily, coming off of the bench. And again, I would imagine if you did that, you're going to use him more so than you did with James Harris. I really don't know what that was all about. You guys heard me say it way back then, even though I know we were trying to bring Bud along and stuff like that. I don't understand why we kept James Harrison on the roster and then we just didn't use him that much. We remember that game against the Chiefs. We brought him out and he had a nice game against Fisher, which, he always did. But still, I just didn't understand what was going on there. They kind of strung him along. I was a little, I'll be honest, and this is a sidebar. And y'all know this happens from time to time, right? When you're doing live stuff. That was one time I did kind of raise an eyebrow at the organization. And coaching staff, all coaches included. I don't know what that was about. And, you kind of strung him along and then you let him go so late in the season. I just did not understand that. I really didn't know what that was about. But, sometimes, guys, it is what it is. We're not always going to agree with the team and or coaches and or players, et cetera, et cetera. But, excuse me, getting back to my point, I would have to agree with what Arthur Moat said. I think, yeah, if you could get a Justin Houston, maybe Kerrigan kind of set the market, and I did also think that Justin Houston was a little older than 32. 32 is not old, definitely not for the world, and it's not extremely old for football. You still got some juice in your legs. Again, if you're not asked to be the starter, I'm cool with that because I like Roche. I think Quincy Roche is going to be an interesting prospect. He's one of the guys that has an opportunity to really turn into something. One of these guys we've been trying to get to do that for the last couple years. It started with Ola, and then it was Tuzar Skipper, one of those type of dudes. But, Roche is a draft pick, so it's a little different. But, he has a lot of upside. But I still would prefer to have Roche and Houston on one of those guys rather than Cassius Marsh. No disrespect. I'm just saying. So we'll see. But clearly, if the Steelers were actually, in fact, interested in Kerrigan, that lets you know that they're still looking. And you know how Kevin Colbert does, man. He's snooping around the dumpster. And again, I say that jokingly. I'm not disrespecting the players, but y'all know what I'm saying in terms of high level guys. He's not doing that at this stage. He's looking for the budget guys that he can bring in, and we can get some juice out of them. So, yeah, I am not opposed to that. Let me see what you guys say in the chat, man, in regards to some of that news. Hey, Miss Debbie, how you doing this evening? Got to say hello to Debbie. Why Diggy says Kerrigan is 3.5. Okay, yep. What else y'all got? Anybody else got any opinions on that? Somebody says something about not Chick-fil-A. What y'all talking about? Rajon? Here are the jersey numbers. Okay, great. Yeah. Give me those, man. The Joker, so I have those when it's time to roll. Definitely give me those numbers. Okay, nobody says nothing. All right. in regards to signing another edge rusher, and y'all know we're gonna have that segment of, me really looking at the chat and also, taking phone calls. Vic Beasley's still out there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to any of these guys. I know Kenyon. We'll get into it, but I know Kenyon feels a certain way about the jersey numbers, but we'll get into that when I get there. I'll give the Joker a little bit of time to let me know what. Okay, Kenyon is putting them there. Yeah, I know old boy has 53, and we'll get to it in just a second. What else do I want to talk about before we go there? Well, you know what? Let's talk about it now. I mean, that ain't no topic I need to hoard, right? Let's talk about it while it's on our minds here, and Kenyon and others are giving me the numbers. So before we get to the big one, does anybody have issue with Kendrick Green wearing number 53 right after Marquise Pouncey retires? I would love to know if any of you guys have an issue with that, and I'll read off some of these other numbers as they're coming in. That's why I love you guys, man. Y'all hold me down. So we know Kendrick Green is number 53. Dan Moore, number 65, which is what he wore in college, as well as Kendrick Green wore 53 in college. Buddy Johnson will be 51. He added basically 50 to his college number because he was number 1. Quincy Roche is wearing lucky number 48. So it makes me wonder in advance, will he be called Quincy? Will he be called Roche? Or will my good brother Kenyon be calling him the other 48? That's going to be interesting. So whether he knows it or not, he has a lot that he needs to do in order to keep that name intact. A lot of milk is wearing number 92, which, we all know who had that number as well, James Harrison. And we just recently seen the guys like Ola wear it. Norwood is number 21. Okay. I'm going to be honest with y'all. 21 scares me a little bit. Let me tell y'all why. Because you remember the last guy who wore that played in the secondary. Yes, his name was Ashawn Davis. I hope he has a little better production than that if he makes the team. And I know these are just jokes. I'm not really superstitious like that, but got to get your jokes off, right? And of course, Najee Harris is number 22, which again, that's what he wore in college. Last person that wore that number for us, Steven Nelson, I believe. So no biggie there. But other than that, let's get into the big one. And yes, Joker, I was going to go there as well. Number 88. First, before we do that, let me ask the question again, because again, I'm going to do a lot of crowd participation here tonight since there's really not a lot to talk about. So let me ask you guys this first. How do you guys feel about Kendrick Green wearing number 53 following the career the very next year after Marquise Pouncey? I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. Joe Hayden, number 21. Yeah, Joe Hayden wasn't what he turned out to be with us now when he had to wear 21. But once he got comfortable in his 23. But let me know. I want to hear from you guys. Come on, man. Crowd participation, guys. I'm not going to let y'all sit back tonight. We're going to all do this together. How do you guys feel about that? Do you agree or disagree with Kendrick Green being able to wear 53 after Maurkice Pouncey? Regardless of how you feel about him, most people are saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer. How do you guys feel about that? Surprised Ben didn't say anything to Kendrick. Yeah. And Ben called him, by the way. Ben is showing more team. What do you call it? What am I trying to say? He's showing more leadership, it seems. And maybe he's done this all the time, but it's very good to hear Kendrick Green said Ben Roethlisberger called him. Freiermuth said the same thing. And if he called those guys, I'm pretty sure he called Najee as well. Vista Light said he's cool with it. Come on, guys. No crowd participation. What's going on with y'all? Thank you, Miss Debbie. Debbie says, don't care, honestly. And Miss Lanisha said, doesn't bother me. He does look like 53. He does look like Pouncey, yeah. And Kenyon said he feels like Tony is happy. Yeah, Tony couldn't stand Maurkice, man. Couldn't stand him at all. But all right, let me give you my thoughts on that, and then we'll go to the 88. I have no issue with him wearing number 53. Not at all. I mean, to me, that's what you wore in college. Maurkice Pouncey just wore it, of course, but also, you're kind of in the mode of a Maurkice Pouncey, semi-undersized. And I only say that as far as height, because if I remember correctly, like, Pouncey wasn't the tallest guy, wasn't the smallest guy either, but you guys know what I'm saying. He wasn't really the big, girthy type of center. Pouncey was more of the, it's funny to say slimmer build, and the dude still was 300, but you know what I'm saying. He was more of an athletic 300-pounder, if that's even possible. Kendrick Green is that. Kendrick Green definitely, from what I'm seeing from him, it looks like he can be what Maurkice Pouncey was. And again, I'm not trying to put him on Maurkice Pouncey's level right away. He's got to earn it, but he looks like he has those skills. For us who watch the tape, we've seen his athleticism both at center and at guard. We've seen him pull both at center, both at guard. And I love his nasty, man. I love that nasty streak that he has. Plays a lot like Maurkice Pouncey, from what I've seen. Now, what will remain to be seen is whether or not we'll be saying some of the same things we've said about Maurkice Pouncey if he's getting pushed back. Remember in recent years, remember when Juju got his first 97-yard touchdown in Denver? Remember? Or was that the second one? Might have been the second one. I think the first one was against the Lions. But either way, Pouncey got killed. Got killed on again. And it's been happening quite often in the last 5 years. Getting punished, steamrolled. So it remains to be seen if Kendrick Green will have that issue. Because again, because of his stature, he's going to have to, get some more strength because he's going to be going up against some big boys. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I have no problem with that. But the question is, for the chat, does anyone have a problem with Pat Freiermuth wearing number 88? Or let's put it even more on the table. Is any number off limits? And if it is, tell me why. Tell me why. Why do you guys feel that way? And let me give you my thoughts really quick. Then I'll come back to the chat. Excuse me, guys. Let me get a sip of water. Them allergies, man. Got the little mucus build up there. Here's my thoughts. When me and Kenyon talked about it initially, I said, I don't have a big issue with it. Even if you want to compare apples to apples, it's not, because Freiermuth is a tight end. So even if I was picky about the number, I wouldn't feel so bad about it because it's a tight end. I didn't feel bad about it when Emmanuel Sanders wore it. I don't feel bad about nobody wearing numbers, in my opinion, unless they get retired. Now, if the Steelers officially retire it, then that's different. But me personally, I don't have a big problem with that, only because the legends that these guys were and are, I'm always going to remember that. I don't care who wears 43. There will not be another Troy Polamalu. So anytime I see that number, that's who I think about. Troy Polamalu. Point blank, period. I'll even give y'all one a little more recent. Some of y'all might not even consider the dude a legend. But for what he did when he was with us, when they talk about number 84 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to think about Antonio Brown. I don't care who else ever wears it. I will always think about that dude named AB when it comes to 84. Hey, I'll give you one even more questionable in some people's eyes. Whoever wears number 26, sorry. Only person I'm going to think about is Le'Veon Bell. I'm sorry. Now, some of you guys might be saying, well, these dudes aren't legends. I get it. Listen, man. When Ben retires, whoever else wears 7, I'm only going to think about one guy. His name is Benjamin Roethlisberger. But if the organization retires a number, that's different. But the Steelers don't really seem to, they don't really seem to do that. So for that reason and that reason alone, doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me, man, that, because I know some people say these numbers are forbidden and they're off limits because of the greats. I get it. And I'm not disagreeing with that because we all feel differently. I'm just saying it doesn't bother me. Because I'm still going to think about who the man was in that number. Even if you look at Dallas, who do you think about when you talk about number 88? You're not going to think about anybody else but Irvin, period. So that's kind of how I feel. I don't care about Freiermuth wearing that. I don't care about any of the numbers being worn. But let me see what you guys say. Yeah, and see, and the funny thing is, Sonny, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, maybe it's just recency bias. I think about Le'Veon Bell wearing 26 more than Rod Woodson, and that's crazy, right? But that's who I think about more so. So, then it just goes to show, and I'll never forget Rod Woodson, you know what I mean? Hot Rod was the man, you know what I mean? But 92, yeah, you always gonna know who James Harrison was. You know what I mean? So, and I'll tell you what. Now here's one for y'all. Who you gonna think about first from now on when you think about number 90? Now you can arguably say there was another guy, number 90, another big boy that I love that locked down his side of the field on that inside. But now there's TJ Watt. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. It's but so many numbers. You start retiring so many numbers, then what numbers people gonna wear? And actually, here's another topic I'll throw at you guys, which is kind of off the cuff. How do you guys feel about the rules now where you can wear single digit numbers and things of that nature? Does anybody have an issue with that? I'm just curious because I definitely saw people in the media, even Tom Brady had a problem with it. I don't understand that either. Like, to me, it's so many people just want the status quo. They don't want no change. You know what I mean? Yeah, Greg Lord, definitely number 95. 99 is underrated, no question. But yeah, man, that's how I feel. I have no issue with the number. Let me see what you guys got really quick, and then we shall move on. What y'all got? What y'all thinking? No issues. Okay. 17 years with everything he's accomplished. Who y'all talking about, Ben? Well, we're going to get into that in a minute. But since we are in the midpoint of the topics, Some of you all had to witness this last time. And this time it's pre-recorded, but I have to run it. So if you guys bear with me, I'm going to allow you to see someone who has graciously sponsored the show. And they're kind of doing it on a trial run, and we'll see how long it is, but you'll probably see the ad at least for another month or so. So if you guys sit tight, we're going to take a little break. And this is brought to you by today's sponsor. All right, guys, quick conversation here. And I know you've been asked to trim the lawn before, and I'm not talking about the lawn outside. I'm talking about your personal lawn. Well, I got an answer for you. It is Manscaped. Manscaped are the champions of the world when it comes to men's below-the-waist grooming. Right now with Manscaped, you can check out the Lawnmower 4.0. Yes, you heard that right, the 4.0. This is a precision-engineered tool for your family jewels. And right now, you can get 20% off if you use the code SimFBallCritic at manscaped.com. Yes, you heard me correct. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code SimFBallCritic when you visit manscaped.com. And trust me, guys, with the Lawnmower 4.0, it's a whole new balls game. And we're back. Let me cut the music back on us. I forgot to cut it off while the ad was playing. And we're back. Let me know, could y'all hear that? Because the way I set it up, I couldn't hear it. And Kenyon giving me the blues. Listen, man. Hey, gotta do it, man. Gotta do it. They came at and they said, hey, man, we would like to offer you yada, yada, yada. Why not? Why not? Why not? We'll see how it goes. But like I said, maybe you guys won't see it much longer because y'all know I keep it a buck with y'all. It's a trial run. So depending on how well it does in the month, then, if not, we'll move on to something else. But let me know, guys, were you all able to hear? You were able to hear it fine? Okay, good. Because the way I set it up, I couldn't hear it in my ears. But there you have it. So again, fellas, hey, I don't even think it discriminates against ladies, even though I know y'all don't have the family jewels. I would imagine it would still be just as nice and safe for the ladies. So again, if that's something that you're interested in for you or yours, you get a 20% off, free shipping. All you got to do is use SimFBallCritic as your code when you check out. So, all right, let's get back to the real deal. Let's see. Najee Harris, man, let me explain to you guys why this kid already. It sounds so funny calling a 21, 22-year-old person a kid. Ain't that crazy? I'm not that old. But he's a kid, when it comes to. But anyway, I like this dude, man. Let me tell you why. And it has nothing to do with what I've seen from him on film, which partly, definitely I think he's going to be a special player if he stays healthy. And coincidentally, but with me saying if he stays healthy, his mission is he wants to play for 10 years. He's expressed that he wants to play for 10 years. As you guys could probably hear my condensation pump going off there, and then got the air conditioning running. A little warm today. So it shall cut off in a moment, but until it does, we'll deal with it. 10 years. It's a long time. Long time for a running back, but I love it. I love the determination, and I love that's what he wants. But let me explain why this guy is becoming one of my favorite players. Yo, this kid's personality. He's a nice human being, man. I'm telling you, he is. You listen to him talk, and not even just talk. If you look at some of the interviews that he's been in, and I'm not talking about just the ones with the media, but the clip that they have up on the Steelers page where they're showing draft day and all of that. I advise you guys to go check that out. He's so into. Oh, hold on. Got to interrupt myself. I don't know why it says title text there, but thank you, Shadow Slayer. Let me give you a round of applause, sir. Round of applause. I appreciate the donation, and y'all know what we always do. We stop and we read the comments from the donation. So I'll come back to my point in a minute. Shadow Slayer says, Arthur Moat said that Richard Sherman would be a great fit on the Steelers, but he pointed out he did play cover 3. Yeah, I definitely heard him say that as well. And like I said, man, shout outs to Arthur Moats, man. I just happened to stumble across, and I watch, some of his content, when he's, giving his thoughts on like highlights and things like that. But I happened to stumble across the stream last night. And like I said, some of y'all were in there. Some of y'all was like, oh, Sim in the building, like I'm some type of celebrity or something. So shout outs to y'all. But yeah, he's right. He's right about that. The Steelers have kind of transitioned away from that. We ran a lot of that more so when your boy was there, Mr. Burns, right? Because Artie Burns would get killed in cover 3 quite often, peeking in the backfield. Still running from time to time, but the Steelers are more of a cover 2 team now. We'll run that. We'll run, cover 2 man. We run cover 1. We do run cover 3, but we're not a primary cover 3 team anymore, I don't believe. We've even ran some match. I've seen us run quarters, but Richard Sherman's forte was that, even in Seattle. And not just cover 3 at its core. That's just what he predominantly played, but Richard Sherman played it different. Remember when he was in Seattle, it might be cover 3, but you would see Richard Sherman playing man within the cover 3. Like they used to run theirs a little differently at that time. Is he that guy still? Probably not, because kind of the same situation as Joe Hayden. They can't run as fast anymore. So he can't just be that guy. But, I would take him in spots. He's still smart. He can still come in and help you in certain situations. But like Arthur Moat said, might not be the best fit because of the scheme he primarily played in. But, you can teach guys whatever you need them to know, in my opinion. So, but yeah, so definitely caught that as well. And yeah, I don't disagree with Arthur Moats there. We got another donation, man. And wow, we got to give you a round of applause because he's a Ravens fan. What do you know? I don't know why that donation thing keeps saying text title. I don't know why it's saying that. I have to fix that. But shout outs to the Joker. You've been here a few times, man. So shout outs to you. He says, I'm a Ravens fan, but I will never see another 52 or 20 in a Ravens jersey. Laugh out loud. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to see another 20 or 52, man. And of course, unless you've been under a rock, you know who he's talking about. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. But again, if it was my team, I wouldn't have much of a problem with it. But again, I don't know how the Ravens do it. I don't know if they're more of a jersey retired type of team. But yeah, but I feel you. But all right, man, let's get back to what I was saying about Najee Harris. Everything I see with him, when whether it's again, when they were following him and the young lady, I forget her name, but she was giving Najee the tour, and the first thing he wanted to do was to talk to the people for the shelter and the food bank. And I saw, on the Draft House episode, he did the same thing in Texas. This guy, personality-wise, even his draft party, was dedicated and, back to a place where he once was, in a homeless shelter. He seems like a really good dude. And I like his interviews. He's funny. He's funny in a kid-like way. Like, he just say what he say. Like, the guys were telling him, yeah, we saw you, catch the ball with one hand. He was like, y'all saw that? Where was y'all at? And then it was like, we were in the bleachers or whatever. And he was like, oh, I thought y'all was boosters. And then he joked with the dude when they said, is this something you practice? And he was like, have you been a reporter for the Steelers your whole career? Kind of like, I do this all the time. Like, I like that innocence about him, but he is a good person. Every time I've seen him, he displays that. And it kind of reminds me of Juju. You know how Juju has that human side of him? I see that in Najee too. And again, if he produces on the field and continues to be that, he's probably gonna be one of my favorite players, because I just love seeing stuff like that, especially from young guys. Excuse me. It's good to see. I know that some of y'all might not care about that, but I do. I pay attention to those type of things, man. So really good to see. So I want to give Najee his credit. And as you can tell, I'm practicing on saying Najee and not Najee. So, because he doesn't like when people call him Najee. Last topic. Is Ben Roethlisberger being disrespected? How do I feel about this? I do see we have a few calls in queue, so we'll get to those in just a moment. Another donation. Round of applause. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. My good brother C. Antoine Hill, so let's interrupt what I'm saying. And boom, let's get to what he says. He says, I have never seen a running back with personality until Najee. Yeah, man. I really like it, man. You can just tell he's from a good upbringing and humble. You know, he doesn't forget that stint that he had in the homeless shelter. And you would only imagine if he had to go through that, there was more there. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't just that time. He probably lived, with not a lot of means for a long time, right? Humble guy. You can see it all over him and the way he acts. And even, again, in the Steelers piece, on their channel, when he went to ride the, the Duquesne thing up the hill, and he gets out and somebody was like, Roll Tide. He was like, Roll Tide? Where y'all from? You're in the wrong state. He's like, no, it's still a nation now. Like, just, again, like I said, maybe everybody doesn't pay attention to those things, but I'm good. I'm a people type of person, and I read people and I pay attention to personality, and really liking what I'm seeing from this kid, man. I really am. It makes me want to root for him even more. But anyway, back to Ben Roethlisberger. Yes, I'm going to answer that question. I think he is being a little disrespected, even by me. I'm going to put myself on blast. Even by me. Because I had to stop and think for a minute. Why did Ben really look so bad last year? Well, let's be honest. Part of it is he's a little older. Another part of it, he's coming off an injury. Another part of it is he had to throw the ball 1,000 times a game. We didn't have any run game. Still put up numbers, though. Right? He still put up numbers. It made me think back to the 2018 season, I think. Let me see. Last year was 2020. Ben got hurt 2019. Yeah. Made me go back to that season, even though that's a few years ago. And then I compared it with some of the throws I did see him make this past season. He still has enough. Ben still can get it done if he has a run game. Cam Hayward even said that on Good Morning Football, right? I think I've been giving Ben a little harder of a time than I needed to. Because there were times last year where I think his bad was elevated and really put on display because we just couldn't run the football. But you're telling me, I had to sit here and think about it for a moment. You're telling me that if Ben Roethlisberger has a healthy run game and a Najee, you can expect Najee going to touch the rock a lot this year. And if we're successful with it, that he don't have enough to win, I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can stick it out and say, man, I think it's time for Ben to go. Listen, is it time for Ben Roethlisberger to retire? More than likely, yes. He's played for so long, his body is beat up, but he can still ball. Again, think about some of the good throws that he made last year. Like, really think about that. Could he stretch the field the way he once did? No. Didn't seem like he still had the deep ball accuracy like he once had. I get it. Like I said, we'll see this year. Was it age and attrition, or was it the injury? We shall see one season removed, right? But think about those plays that he did make. Some of those throws that he made to Claypool and Juju. Especially the one against, who was that against, where Juju came across the middle of the field and he threw it between two. What game was that, man? I could see it. I just can't remember what team it was. I don't think it was the Colts. It might have been the Colts game. Ben still got enough. I think he still got enough. There was a couple shots that he threw, man, to both Claypool and Juju that made me say, okay, remember, even near the end of the season, my tone started changing a little bit. I'm like, okay, Ben, shut me up. But I think he got exposed, though, having to throw the ball so much last year. Because we cannot forget as well, some of those, some of them joints that should have been picked off. I haven't forgot about those either, but if I sit back and think about it for a moment, with his knowledge, with the skill he still has, if we move up 15 spots in the run game, if we end up being the 15th ranked rushing team in the league, and Ben is able to play to the degree that he played last year, good, bad, and indifferent, he still has enough to win. If our defense, can be close to what we was, you can't expect it because we've lost some pieces. Again, there's still going to be some questions at cornerback in terms of who fills the void. But I think we still have enough to be able to win with a Ben Roethlisberger with that run game if it turns out to be what I think it can be. So those are my thoughts. And I'll check and see what you guys say in the chat, and then we'll answer the phone calls and we'll get out of here. But whoa, another one. Y'all out here got me feeling like DJ Khaled tonight with the donations, man. Round of applause to Lydell Dorsey. Lydell says, if our receivers had caught half of their drops, his stats would be better, along with our franchise worst year rushing the ball and poor offensive line. Yeah, listen, a case could be made. And y'all know I got on his case. I got on his case a lot last year, but I had to reconsider that, especially after, Cam Hayward said what he had to say today, and I was like, dang, he might be right. Oh, we got to say hello to, and let me see if I can remember it. She gave me the phonetic spelling last week. Raquella? Let me know if I said that correctly. Shout outs to Raquella Brooks. Another lady in the chat. We learned that last week. So hello, Miss Raquella. Please let me know if I said that correctly, because you wrote it out in a way that I should be able to pronounce it. But let's see. But welcome. And yeah, those are my thoughts. What do y'all got, man? Let me see what y'all got about Ben. Let's see. Garen Williams said we had no run game. Rel Fax says, 33 touchdowns off of elbow surgery, and then analysts are saying he's the worst quarterback in the AFC North. Yeah. Odessa said receivers were dropping passes too. They absolutely were. Where are the fans that hate social media and what Juju has done? Because Najee has YouTube series as well. Young athletes are making the most of their opportunities. They understand it's business. Yeah. I agree with you with that. Look, I just talked about Arthur Moats, right? You see Arthur Moats trying to do his thing. I ain't mad at him, man. Raquel says, great stream today, Sim. I was driving and I'm going to have to finish watching the show after I make it home from work. Ben always been disrespected until he plays the team they downing him on. Yeah. All right, so y'all kind of agree with that. Lydell says Ben is our best option until our cap situation gets better. Correct. Oh, you said I pronounced it perfectly. Well, thank you. And thank you for giving me the spelling it out for me last week so I could get it together, because I hate mispronouncing someone's name. Even if it's a name that, and yours isn't this way, but even if it's a name that's hard, to pronounce because there's a lot of letters and all of that, I still take it upon myself to learn that person's name, just to have that much respect for them. Shout outs to Brent Fox, man. Another donation. Round of applause. I think this is worth mentioning again, but the tackle Moses, for the Washington football team wants a trade release. He's due 7.8. Your thoughts? I don't know if we can pay him because if we trade him, we got to take on the contract however it is written out right now. I don't know if we could do that. Now, if he's released and nobody else bites, we may have a chance to get him. We could do something interesting like voidable years or something like that, or maybe he decides to, to take lesser money and then come back at it next year. But I don't think a trade would work, though. But I absolutely do not disagree with any other left tackle. No disrespect to Chooks. I'm just saying he's unproven. I will take anyone else at this point, another veteran, and let them battle it out. And if Chooks wins, he wins. So, yeah, I would be cool with that. All right, let's get to the calls, man, so we can get up out of here. Let me see who we got. Let's see. First up is, we got 5 calls, so y'all know what y'all got to do. In and out. In and out. Be quick. First call of the night is Mr. Winningham, area code 803. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, good evening. How you doing? And I hope everybody else is doing well. Glad that you're getting sponsors. That's a big time thing, You're getting the same sponsors that Automotes and the other young man get. So I hope that's something that continues, Very thankful that you every week bring us this show. Always looking forward to it. Speaking of the numbers, one thing about the numbers, we get guys that get those same numbers from year to year to year. And, obviously when I think about 88, you're always going to think about Swan. I think about 31. I think about Donnie Shell. And the list goes on and on. So it doesn't really bother me a lot. But at the same time, sometimes I think Swan number is the one that kind of gets passed around more than others. He and John Stallworth.
Yeah.
But I think I love Najee Harris. The one thing I hope that Mike Tomlin doesn't do is go to that philosophy. We're going to run him till the wheels fall off. I just hope we don't try to run this kid into the ground. But I love this kid, his interviewing skills, he's quick-witted. He's a franchise player, not a franchise running back. He's a franchise player.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Big Ben, he's never going to get the respect for obvious reasons of what happened off the field. On the field, he's done the same thing his whole career, and but he's never going to get the respect that Brett Favre or other quarterbacks of his ilk of a gunslinger mentality. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
Man, thank you so much. And before I forget, I'm going to just comment really quick on the last thing, that last name that you mentioned. Man, Brett Favre, boy, he funny. That's all I'm going to say. Some of y'all know, but I'm not going to turn it into that tonight. I can't fool with Brett Favre, man. It's just funny how sometimes people say stuff and then they say, well, I didn't mean it that way. But no, the fact that you actually said it when it didn't need to be said. Later for Brett Favre, man. Great football player, but later for him. But like you said, what you're asking for, and I agree with you, Mr. Winningham, but I think it's going to happen. I think Le'Veon Bell. What I meant to say is I think we're going to see another Le'Veon situation with Najee. They going to use him. He going to be out there for 3 downs. This dude is, so hopefully he doesn't get ran in the ground. I would like to see Tomlin and Canada spell him some. We got other capable guys, but he's definitely going to be one of them dudes who touching the rock multiple times, whether it's catching the ball or it's being tucked into his belly. So we shall see. Hopefully he holds up, man. Next up, area code 443. What you got for us?
What's up, Senator? This is the Joker from the chat. We talked a little bit on Twitter also. Just wanted to give you props, man. I love what you're doing. I come by your channel every now and then just to see what the Steelers are up to. But just wanted to tell you to keep doing your thing. And just an idea for the future. It'd be cool if, like, before a divisional game, you would do like a co-stream with, like, for example, Engraven, which is a big Ravens YouTuber. I think it would be cool for you guys to go head to head. But keep doing your thing, bro. Much respect and good luck this season.
Man, thank you very much. I appreciate that. See, guys, just because they like the Ravens and we like the Steelers, you don't have to hate each other. And Joker does come around a lot. You know, we, like he said, we talk here, we talk on Twitter. That's a good idea. I think I might be looking to do that. That's a great idea. I'm not opposed to that at all. And maybe, you know, it's funny how sometimes you guys are reading my mind. I kept saying I want to find ways to bring more and more content. So maybe that could be, you know, kind of a later in the week type of show, like the pregame. Maybe that would be, okay, we got a divisional opponent. Boom. We come on, chop it up. So, yeah, thank you for that. Great idea. I have thought about that. And, yeah, I think that's something that would be cool to adopt because it's all about just having, you know, conversation, you know, just good content. And I don't always want to be the one that's doing the talking. You know, I would love to hear it from the other side. Honest people as well. Honest people. What I mean by that is people who are willing to say, this team is better, this team isn't, your guy's better, my guy is, you know, like that. So appreciate that. Next up, area code 651. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
Nothing much. Well, I wanted to say something about Najee. For one is, like you said, the type of person he is. He tells it how it is. He's charismatic. He reminds me when he runs and when he talks of Marshawn Lynch. Except he's a little more articulate, but he's just like him. He says exactly what he wants. He's gonna joke on you if you say something crazy.
He from the Bay.
The guy when he runs the ball. Yeah, okay. I didn't even know that. But,
yeah.
And then I know he's trained with Marcus Peters, so I mean they got that same personality. And another thing is I think he's gonna be more doable because he gets north and south quick. No wasted movement. He's gonna jab step and he's gone. He's not dancing. He's not spinning. He's gone. So I think he can last. He's a lot like Marshawn to me. Also, I was thinking about the O-line. Man, nobody's talking about how Dawson was basically taking Fletcher Cox's lunch this year. Like, he was putting it on him. And there was another D lineman that's a really big Pro Bowler that he did the same thing to. I'm really encouraged about the line with him. DeCastro coming back healthy in this season because I think he was just still beat up from that knee, and I don't think you can see it. And Green being able to get up the field a little more, and Banner, he did well in his first game as long as he was there. So I'm just worried about that left tackle spot, really.
Yeah.
And my last thing is that I didn't get a chance to talk about last time with Loudermilk is I think he's a chess piece because you look at Baker Mayfield, short quarterback. You look at the only person that Burrow is the only one that got a little hype to him, but even Lamar Jackson, those guys throw flat balls a lot. And with Loudermilk being able to bat the ball down as much as he did in college, I think that was a chess move there. But that's all I got. Thanks.
Man, thanks for the call. That's a good, interesting take right there. See, I love hearing different perspectives, and he did have a lot of batted balls, man. Sound so funny saying stuff like that sometimes. I don't know. I'm still a kid at heart, man. Remember when you was a kid, you were like, he said balls. I'm still silly like that, man. Batted balls. But yeah, that's interesting. I mean, because here's the funny thing about what 651 said. You'd be surprised. Sometimes scouts and stuff, they actually look at things like that and say, oh, we can utilize that as well as building them to be what else we want them to be. But you'd be surprised. Some of that stuff literally be like that at combines and pro days and when they watch tape. Stuff like that does stand out. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's something to that. But yeah, good point. But like, I think we'll see how he comes along. You heard Tomlin and Colbert mainly was saying you don't really find that combination of body type and the way he moves and things like that. So they gravitated to it. So yeah, that could be an interesting point right there though. So yeah, definitely appreciate you bringing that up. Next up, area code 678. What you got for us?
Thanks for taking my call, Tim.
No problem.
I would like to say on the Ben Roethlisberger situation, The very first time I ever tuned into your show, you and Keenan was talking about the only guy we really got to worry about is Ben Roethlisberger. I've been tuning into your show since then. Now, I'm not like most Steeler Nation. I only watch football. That's the only thing that I like. Ben Roethlisberger has been one, I said last week, one of the most consistently inconsistent quarterbacks in the NFL. That's why he gets a lot of the criticisms that he gets. Because, I mean, we didn't see him throw the beautiful pass to San Antonio Holmes in the Super Bowl, and then you see him throw some passes when he got the number of years that he has up under his belt, and you go like, come on, Ben, what are you doing? And then last year he said he wasn't going to hurt us. And he did that a lot until I felt as though he felt like, okay, we don't got no running game. I got to do what I got to do to see to us get win, you know? But this year, you know, that's over. That running, we about to run it back the same way we did last year. And I know that one year I was wrong when we had Devlin Duck and Mason Rudolph. I said playoffs, and you was like, playoffs? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we will be in the playoffs this year, and we'll be just as sexy as we was last year, but we're coming back with a running game. We will be 15-2 or 14-3. I was hoping you was going to give the record prediction this week. I thought you were going to talk about that, but that's okay, though. I want to say, I want to put on there 15-2 or 14-3, Tim. So, thanks for taking my call.
Ooh, man, you're very welcome. That's high expectations there. We talked about it a little bit last week, so I'll say it really quick here. And actually, I don't even think I really said my actual prediction. Most of y'all in the chat did. Let me see, 17 games. I can't go as high as what you said. I can't go as low as what I initially thought. I looked at the schedule. Schedule's tough. But even as I looked at the first 6 games last week, if y'all remember, and actually it wasn't Terrible Towel Tuesday. It was an impromptu show where I did why do I have I'm doing weird stuff tonight. Why I had one ear off? I was doing, I did a schedule release, like intermediate, like stream during the week. And that's where I said it. As I looked at the first 6 games, I said, hey, we might come out of there 4-2. I started feeling a little bit better about the schedule. You always got to be careful with your division. Is it possible that we can even split with all of them? Yeah. But I can't go as strong as that. But with having a better running game, looking at the offensive weapons that we actually have now, even at tight end, believe it or not, Freiermuth is going to come in and he's going to help even in the run game right away. Where do I have us? I don't know if I can go higher than 12-5. On the low end, mm, 10-7. I think the Steelers might have enough to win 10 games just looking at that schedule. Like I said, if we come out first 6 games 4-2, let's say you split all of the other games, so that's 6 games, you come out, you get another 3 wins there. That gets you up to 7? You might be able to find 3 more wins somewhere. So I think the most I could give us is 12-5. I can't go higher than that, though. I feel like we're going to lose something on defense automatically. You know, the cornerback position, you know, not saying that we won't be good, but again, just me kind of looking at it with having an unknown left tackle position. We'll see. Last call of the night, man. Area code 202. What you got for us?
Yes. I want to make some points about the Steelers. I've been a Steelers fan since the 70s, so I'm old school when it comes down to that. But now I'm what I consider a Steelers enthusiast, so I look at things a little bit more objectively than I was used to. And the subject about Ben Roethlisberger, I lost respect for him quite a long time. The reason why is because his character was always in question. Then his decision-making was always in question. For example, the 2 games that he lost on the 1 yard line when he threw an interception against New England. He blamed the offensive coordinator, and that was Todd Haley at the time. Then he turned around and did this. He did Denver. He blamed Antonio Brown, and then he had a riff with Juju at the same time. So I don't respect those kind of characteristics from an individual, especially a leadership position. And then the general manager had to actually take up for Ben and act like Ben couldn't speak for himself because he lost the locker room when Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown was there. When another man has to speak for you, you're not really a real man. And I know that's controversy, but I'm saying to myself, man, you can't be punking out being a quarterback. The third thing is, and I'm not hating on him. It sounds like I'm hating on him.
Oh, no. You keep going, man. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. The third thing, man, how in the world are you a $100 million quarterback and you're not even in shape? When you got a critique like a man in the 60s playing quarterback in the NFL, how could I respect you on your off-season regimen? Okay? Oh, I'm not in shape, but I play golf. Really? That's an old man and you playing NFL football and you're not even 40 yet. Then we got Tom Brady, who you never beat in the postseason because you had an excuse for every time you lost to him, and he's turning 44 and he's better shape than you on a good day. So when you look at things of that in that broad of a picture, if Ben would have said I'm quitting after the Cleveland game, I would have been happy, send you off. Great. You're not even deserving of what I consider a first ballot Hall of Fame. But when people think that we can overcome this, the wheels fall off because of the leader. This leadership quality was weak, okay? This year, I'm optimistic, but at the same time, if we don't have a good running game, we're not getting to the playoff, period. That's what the Steelers will get back to. If we have a running game, we have a good chance of making the playoff. The schedule is tough, but you got to run it for the running game. Our offensive line better be good because you got to run it. And you mentioned about Tomlin. Tomlin, his weak point is he doesn't learn from mistakes. He will run Najee Harris until the wheels fall off because he did that to Le'Veon Bell. He's not going to learn from that mistake. Probably years later, but unfortunately, I don't see him not changing that. Right? Matt Canada, we do not know about because Randy Pitcher was worse than him. So if I'm sounding like I'm ranting, all these are true. What I see, okay, from the eye. If someone disagrees with me, it's okay. We may see things a little bit different. The third thing is, Najee Harris, I believe he does have a good future in Pittsburgh. He's got the last name Harris. That's a good thing. And I believe his personality really fits the team, and it's all positives. So let me end on a positive note by saying I believe he has a real good future in Pittsburgh. And that's our identity. Running and defense is our identity. Now, also, I wanted to say, you mentioned about the defense. I do believe our secondary is going to be our weakest point. Okay. Yeah. I noticed that, Hayden was getting hurt quite a bit, and he doesn't really have it on the speed. I think it's become from previous injuries. He's getting a little older, so he can't be our number one corner. I think that's going to be a weak point. And teams are going to a lot of throwing teams are really going to peep that out. So I hope our zones will be a little bit better to kind of disguise that, but it doesn't look good or anything. And that's all I have.
Man, thank you for the call. That was a great call. One, you said you've been a fan since the 70s. I'm always jealous of some of you guys that actually saw those teams. I didn't. It's a little before my time. But I really appreciate the objectiveness, and most of us do that. You guys who call, I try to do it, but I always appreciate that because we can't walk around with the black and gold colored glasses, man. We have to see things for what it is. We still love the team. It's not like because people will accuse you of that. I've been accused of that many times. Oh man, you just don't want to. Why would I not want them to? I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I have a podcast, man, dedicated to the Steelers. Like, why would I be wanting them not to be successful? But sometimes you got to view it objectively, but I think my man said a lot of good stuff there. The Ben Roethlisberger piece, yeah, I could see why somebody would remember. You know, I'm not sure how long you've been listening, but some of the people who've been here with me from day one, y'all remember when I used to get on Ben about his leadership. Those are the things I'm talking about. That passive aggressiveness, man. And, you know, do I respect him for who he is to the Steelers? Sure. But, again, there's certain things that you can show me as a quality as a man that I'm not going to have the same level of respect. You know what I mean? Quick sidebar for you guys that might watch other podcasts. If you guys are familiar with the Joe Budden podcast and all of the stuff, that's foolery that's going on with that, right? I side with the guy Maul. If you guys might remember when he was saying, look, man, it's about respect. And, you know, some of y'all might not know what I'm talking about here, but Joe Budden said something to him that he just couldn't take back. And that's how I am too. Like, when somebody show a certain side of themselves, I might, you know, hey, how you doing? But it's a certain level of respect I'm going to have for you. And when, as much as I kept seeing Ben do that, I'm like, nah, man, come on, man, 10 toes, brother. 10 toes down. Stand on your own. I hate that passive aggressiveness. I can't even say the word. Aggressiveness. Hate it. I don't like that character flaw, man, in him. But, you know, is what it is. But great call. You know what? I'm going to take one more. I do see one more did pop in. Last call of the night. And let me remind everybody, man, I know we had a decent amount of calls tonight. As we continue to grow, we got to shorten the calls up, man. I really want to try to keep them under 2 minutes so we can always grab the next one. But last call of the night, area code 86. Oh, wait. Before I get to the call, I got to say this because I saw it pop up. Shout outs to Miguel. Is it Aldana? Round of applause. Donation. I really appreciate that, man. I didn't miss it. I just couldn't get to it because the calls were, you know, people were on the line. But I just want to say this really quick. He says, I blame the OC for last season's downfall. Play calling. Yeah, there was definitely some questionable situations going on with Randy Fichtner. No question about that. But last call of the night, man. Area code 865. What you got for us?
I think they should have gave Mason Rudolph a chance.
Okay.
He had like 1 year on his contract left. And you could have signed a lot more players back by keeping him like 1 year left on his contract. See if he does good with a young team, a growing team. If he does decent, you can sign him to a cheap 4-year contract. If you don't, you got to let him go. I just don't have faith in Ben no more. I think Ben can't physically do the job like he used to. He can't move. He limits the offense because he can't move. You should have stuck with Rudolph and gave him a chance. That's why you drafted him. What do you think?
Hey, man, thank you for the call. I really appreciate that. I will tell you really quick, 865, be on the lookout in the chat. They going to kill you in the chat about Mason Rudolph, but I'm going to speak objectively here. One thing just to mention to you, you may or may not know this, they did extend Mason Rudolph, so he's actually signed through 2022. So I don't know why he decided to extend right now. I guess he figures they pretty much know Ben is going to leave and he'll have a year audition, if you will, to make some money. But they did do that, so I don't know if you're aware of that. But I think what you're saying is you would rather have seen them let Ben walk and hand it over to Mason Rudolph now. My only thing I'm not going to say, you know, disputed or refuted or combated, because my thoughts were whether Ben stayed or went, I didn't feel like the Super Bowl was going to happen this year anyway, so I would have been cool either way. But I think the Steelers look at it like their best chance to win a championship, if they're going to get one in the near future, is with Ben Roethlisberger. So you let him play out his last year, let him retire that way, and there you have it. And then they retain Mason Rudolph. So obviously Mason Rudolph will be the guy next season, unless there's a rookie that gets drafted and there's competition there. But that's probably, that's really what happened in a nutshell. But Yeah, I mean, if they would have let Ben walk, they wasn't going to save much money anyway, especially with Ben taking the pay cut. So the savings really didn't benefit them at all to let him walk. You know what I mean? So because they were able to restructure his contract, it still worked out. And you're going to let your Hall of Fame quarterback have one last crack at it. And there you have it. But appreciate your call, man. And you're right. You know, it's a lot of times that I just haven't felt like Ben Roethlisberger can still get it done. But I do think he has enough in the tank for us to win with him, with the, being accompanied by a run game. You would think the run game gets better this year with Najee. We'll see. It's still most importantly is up to the offensive line. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out, man. Hopefully it works out for us, and maybe we're all eating crow later on this year. But thanks for the call, and thank all of you guys for calling, man. This was great tonight. Y'all always do it. Every time I say I don't have much to talk about, look, we done went way over an hour. So I owe it all to you all. As I throw it to the chat, let me remind you guys, I said this a month or so ago, but I'll say it again now because I think I'm going to go ahead and kick it off maybe by next week. Some people have mentioned to me that let me take these headphones off. A lot of people can't always see the show in real time like you guys are watching. So, a lot of people have asked, hey, man, do you have to have so many ads and things of that nature? And I get it. It's a little frustrating, right? So what I told you guys what I'm going to do, and you probably have seen it on other people's channels. I'm always late to the party, right? YouTube has a feature now where you can join or subscribe, right? Very similar to Twitch, if you guys are familiar with that. But like I said, if you're watching big time YouTubers, y'all have seen the join button and the subscribe button. Let me explain to you guys what I'm proposing. You can subscribe. There's no cost. But if you join, I don't know where I'm going to set the price point, maybe $2.99, maybe $4.99. But anyway, the reason why I'm going to do that is because what I will start doing, and like I said, I might start it this week, I will re-upload the recording of this show and turn off the ads. So for those who want to see it like ad-free, that's my kind of way of offering ad-free. If you join and become a member, there you have it, right? For those of you who don't care about ads, you can watch it just like you do now. You can watch it live. You can come back later and it'll be ads. Listen, it's YouTube. Everybody knows when you have a monetized channel, that's how you make money. And yeah, I do this for fun, but at the same time, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. So yeah, I want to make some money if I'm going to spend my time, right? So that's what I'm going to propose for those who want to watch the full show uninterrupted. I will re-upload it. So there will be two available, but only one will be behind a paywall and you can watch it. But what else I might have to do with that? I'm thinking about some other additional content that I can offer for members. One would be, I think, as we approach the season, the all 22 situation. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that anymore live, guys, because, NFL, near the end of the season, they start catching on, and, it completely kills the when you put any clip of the NFL there, and then now they're monetizing the channel, and I be, you know what, if I'm going to allow some other entity to monetize on my video. So maybe that's what I'll do there. I will cut off ads and won't monetize and do video breakdowns, but those who are members will be able to view it. But we'll see. And here's another proposal that I'm going to add to it for you guys who are interested in gaming. A lot of people have always said, hey, man, we want to see you play different games other than Madden or sports. Don't you ever play like adventure games and all that? I do. So for those people, that'll be something else that I will offer as a member. I'll do live streams that are just, other types of material, other games, RPGs and Spider-Man and things like that. But just wanted to let you guys know that that's coming because I'm always open and honest with you guys. So what does that mean? For most of y'all that are here tonight, it doesn't affect you at all. Y'all come here live and some of y'all watch the replay and y'all can care less about the ads. This only affects those who want to watch the show uninterrupted and they prefer me to take off the ads. That will be my alternative. So just being open and transparent with everyone. And there you have it. Oh yeah, and like my man here says, Mackle do. He said he got the YouTube Premium, so he don't get no ads. See, that's what I'm saying, man. But listen, it's the way of the world. It's the way of the world, y'all. I mean, listen, y'all can't fault me, little old me, for trying to be monetized for my time. You know what I mean? But it's all good. But what else y'all got? C. Brown says, and thank you for that, by the way. He says, you always provide good Steelers content. You should monetize your show. Yeah, I mean, but I just try to be available for everybody, man. I'm trying to, suffice everyone. And I think that's going to be the best way to do it. For those who want that option, it's there. For those who don't care, doesn't affect y'all not one bit. Y Diggy says, I saw some highlights from rookie minicamp. Looks like they are already working on the zone blocking. They should help with running the game. Yeah. And that's going to happen, man. I mean, come on. You know that's going to happen. There's going to be a little more outside zone, I believe. You already heard Juju talking about the different motions and stuff that they've already installed. You see where Kendrick Green, where his upside is with him being able to move. Kevin Dotson can move. The Castro can move. Yeah, that's coming. That's definitely coming. Somebody said Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I haven't gotten into that yet. But again, and when I do that and I get into that heavy, then I'll start allowing, some of you guys to suggest, hey man, I'd like to see you play this. And it'll be one of those type of things. It'll balance itself out. Some of the games I don't have. So if y'all that are members say, hey man, we want to see you stream this, and it's a members only stream, then guess what I got to do? Come out of my pocket and buy the game. So I think we'll be able to have a little fun with that as well. Ben plus Mason equals stiff. Absolutely. Logan Taylor says the O-line still needs work, in my opinion. Yeah, we definitely got to see. We got to see how it all plays out. Got to see how it all plays out. I'll sit here about 2 more minutes, guys. Chop it up with y'all a little more. Appreciate that, Lanisha. Yeah, and I know, again, like Lanisha and many of y'all understand, man. But, again, this is me by nature. This is who I am. Transparent always, keeping it a buck always. Like, this is my real personality. So even though most people would say, man, you ain't got to tell them that. No, I do. Because I view y'all as this is a family thing. I don't even like to say subscribers. This is a family. This is the home team. Y'all are just, people who don't chopping it up with me. I don't view y'all as my fans. Nah, man. We all the same. The only difference between me and y'all is I got the camera on talking. It's the only difference. C. Brown says, man, I don't want to hear nothing from Juju right about now. Let's see. Pencil me in for next Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, man, we are always here. Give a call. We are always here. I'm always willing and able to accept phone calls from you guys. Let's Toast Media. I think Toast was in. I think I saw you last night too over at Arthur Moat's channel. He says, I got a question. I'm going to Steelers versus Titans game. Is it going to be a full crowd? That I don't know. I don't know. The Roonies haven't come out and said, they haven't said that yet. Right now in Pennsylvania, there's still pretty much a mask mandate, but I think that's going to disappear soon, if I remember correctly. Governor Wolf, I think, has already said once we get to 70% vaccine rate capacity as far as, the population, then that'll go away. There's a lot of stores already in the area that are not requiring masks now, and some of them even saying if you're fully vaccinated, which I don't know how Walmart is going to confirm that, but chances are the way it's looking right now, it'll probably be a full crowd. And I'm going to go to a game or two as well. I don't know which one yet, but that might be one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and hang up here on Blog Talk. I see 651 is still in there. So just to give you a heads up, I'm going to cut that off. but we all can continue to rock for just a second, as you just heard her say 90 seconds. I done gave y'all almost an hour and a half, man. Good times, right? What else y'all got? Thank you for that, Mr. Winningham, man. I really, really appreciate that. You guys have no idea. And like I said, for most of y'all in this chat, it does not affect you all whatsoever. The only effect that it might have against you all, the normal viewers, is depending on what I end up doing with the all 22, man. And that's only because I don't want to keep bumping heads with the NFL. A lot of them videos they didn't catch. So we'll try, and I shouldn't be saying that here, but who cares? We'll try that at first, because most of them, there was nothing. But near the end of the season, like around week 16 was when I was starting to get flagged, and it said, oh, this is not a strike, but the owner of the content is now monetizing your video. I said, no, they are not. Nobody. I cut that piece right out the video. Let me see. Who else? Somebody else had something to say that I wanted to read. Oh, here it is. Miss Sade says, the reindeer is a statue in the pocket. He stands there and waits to be tackled. Thanks, but no thanks. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, huh? Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I saw that shadow. Kwame Brown going in on folk, man. Ron says, I miss your MLB streams. No, don't miss them. They'll be back. Again, that's the reason why I've always said, listen, I can't do a stream schedule, because I haven't been able to just lock in yet. But it'll be back very soon. Don't worry. They may probably even sometime this week. Last one of the night. We're going to read Miss Debbie's comment. She says, Sim, did you hear Najee saying that the Steelers had him practicing catching from X position? Whoa. I need his catching to be reverses, screens, and dump offs. Leave X for Deontay and Chase. Hey, man. Yeah, Debbie. Initially, I agree with your comment there. The only thing I would say is, if that is the case, what does that formation look like? Where's everybody else lined up at? That's the only thing that would make me say, hey, I'd rather him do the traditional stuff. However, Mr. Canada, if you got Najee Harris at X, what is going on in that formation? So, to be honest, Debbie, I'm agreeing with you 100% with a little bit of curiosity. Like, whoa, time out now. If he had X, remember, guys, who the X receiver is supposed to be. You got Najee Harris playing the X position. What does that formation look like? Who else out there? I would be curious to see that. I would be very curious to know what that is. I would be very curious to know what that is. So, yeah. Interesting. But all right, man. Let's get on out of here, man. Again, I appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man. Y'all make this stream go. Every time I don't have anything to talk about, it's easy to talk to y'all. And we go well beyond time. So thank you. You're far too kind. And thank y'all also for bearing with me with the the Manscaped sponsorship. But listen, man, like I said, look, y'all can't be mad at me for trying to get a little of that bread, huh? You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? That's what I'm here for. I mean, I do it for fun, but listen, people want to pay me. Hey, I'm going to take it. But all right, man, we're going to get out of here. Hope you all have a lovely night. I'm going to remind you guys to do this right here. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. And if you're viewing and have been viewing and you're not subscribed, you might as well subscribe. Along with that, cut on your notifications so you know when videos are live. Not just this one, but any content. But last but not least, thumbs up. Come on. At least that. At least hit the like button. That helps me out tremendously. And thank you for everyone who donated tonight. And if you prefer to donate outside of YouTube, Cash App and PayPal is also an option. Check the description for the information. But y'all stay cool, stay safe, stay blessed, have a great rest of the week. And if anything is of an importance, you might see me come back. Because like I said, I will do some pop-up streams here and there, the Steeler Report as I call it, if there's stuff to talk about. It's just not, this time of the season is not enough for me to lock in and say, this is going to happen on Friday or this is going to happen on Thursday. But if something breaks that we need to talk about, maybe a signing, I'll be back. But outside of that, again, I'll say it again. Thanks for coming through. God bless. Stay safe. Good night. And like always, thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.